Hey, friends, welcome back to Living in His Purpose podcast. I feel like it has been a very long time since I've recorded anything. It's been a crazy summer, but we're going to talk about that once fall shows up. So, today we're continuing with my conversation with friends, and we're going to talk with Mary. Mary is a friend of mine from church, and she's one of those people that you cannot really put in a box. Mary is a wife, a mom. She is a woman in law enforcement. She loves psychology and learning. She's constantly learning. And she has a pretty incredible story with God, which is why I wanted to share this with you. That's where we're going to start today, because Mary loved God from a very young age. She loved God. But as you're going to hear her say, loving Him and actually being rooted in Him were not always the same thing. Okay, so let's just start here.
Okay. So you were listening to my podcast.
So I listened to your podcast in the beginning, and I
Mhm.
got into like the habit of reading. I was listening to it, like
Mhm.
that was my thing. I would listen to it because I'm your friend and I support you, and I was there and I was doing it. But then I fell out of the habit,
Yeah.
like everybody does.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, I was like, something the other day. I was like, I have not listened to Eve's podcast. I cannot remember when.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just gonna start. And with my new bougie car that Joey got me, I can connect all of it to it.
Awesome.
And so I was able to connect it, and it weirdly enough, it brought up something else I had been listening to.
Uh-huh.
And so I was like, okay, Lord, I'll listen to this first.
Uh-huh.
So I listened to it first.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, okay, I've heard what I think I need to hear. And then I bounced to you.
Mhm.
Then I bounced to another thing because it brought that to my mind.
Mhm.
And then I came back to you. And so I've been bouncing between like 3 different things
Oh,
for
good.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it was finally laid on my heart of like, it's time. Like, are you going to listen and actually go sit on the couch, or are you going to just keep doing this? And as you know, the famous saying for me is that I am Jonah.
Mm.
And I always get the whale, the big old fish comes and gets me. And then finally I'm like, yes, Lord, I see what you're saying. I will now go do. So instead of the fish, I'm here.
Good for you.
Yep, I am being good
for you.
and not getting eaten by a fish. So
well, and I kind of wonder if you kind of need that like pull away and in the dark for a hot minute to think about it.
well, for me, it's taking the time to actually listen.
Yeah.
Because when your life is so busy,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
my life is a nonstop whirlwind of everything.
And I think that's so common. I think so many people live that way.
Just your last podcast talks about that,
Yeah.
where you literally just talked about how we are all so busy, and it adds to the, are we here? Are we in the moment? Are we listening to what God has to say, or are we busy? Sorry, that was probably my phone.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think that's so many of our problems. That's why I've decided to start talking about it, because I don't think it's normalized. I think it's so normal for people to say, like, it's like a badge of honor. How are you? So busy. I'm so busy.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh, well, what do you, like it's like an honor thing, know. But I don't think everyone stays busy so they can brag about it. I think we are too busy.
and we don't take time to sit.
Mm-hmm.
And because a lot of us, well, okay, let's start it at the beginning. My testimony is different than your testimony, but kind of similar.
Yeah.
I was raised very high society when I was younger. I'm originally from Sumter, South Carolina, so I was high society. And then we moved to Missouri. My parents ended up getting a divorce, which created a lot of just turmoil in my childhood, which opened doors for Satan to come into my life and allowed people to do things to me that were inappropriate. And then from there, I still was very on fire for Jesus. Like that was the closest I'd ever been to God.
Yeah.
Like I felt like, even being that young, I literally felt like the presence of God was always standing next to me.
How old were you when you became a Christian?
When I was probably saved when I was about 7, 8 years old.
Okay.
So about 9 or 10 is when I felt really strong. Like I felt like Jesus walked next to me every day. Like I knew that presence. I knew that. Like it was so cool. And I was like the weird kid who was like, my son now does this, and
you better follow Jesus or
yes,
you're going to hell.
That my son is now following in my footsteps because that was me.
Yeah.
I very much, but I felt like Jesus was there with me.
Yeah.
Well, then we had a house fire when I was 11, 12 years old, and my grandmother died.
Oh.
And my grandmother was my person.
Yeah.
And so, sorry.
That's okay. That's a lot. Such a tragic way.
So, unlike you, where you continued to lean on God
sis,
through your struggles,
we'll have to talk. We got to talk.
I got mad.
Yeah.
And I fiercely rejected Jesus.
Yeah.
And that led to more sin in my life.
Sure.
And it allowed for more situations where things happened to me that should never have happened to me, that people should not have been allowed to do. But it did, and it happened. And now it gets to be part of my testimony. So,
right.
So now it's okay.
Yeah.
So I rejected Jesus for years. I no longer wanted him near me. I was mad.
Yeah.
Still mad.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine, freshman year of high school, made me go to the Christian Athletes Association, the Association of Christian Athletes.
Yes.
And it's a club where all the athletes go, and they're who's Christians, and we do the prayers around the flagpoles, and well, then I came back.
Well, that wasn't very long, and so young. I mean,
it was long enough that there had been enough damage that it was one of those moments it was another fish moment that I've looked back at where it wasn't like the prodigal son coming back. It was literally Jonah saying, okay, I see this. I'm coming out of the fish. I'm here.
Yeah.
And so I literally came back to Jesus, and I was on fire again. And I carried my Bible with me in my backpack. I talked to everybody I could about it. I made sure to pray before each one of my meets because I was a cross-country runner and a volleyball player. Like I prayed all the time. I was back in it, but I'd never been in the Bible.
Oh.
In all of this time, I listened to the sermons and I listened to the preachings during our meetings at the athletes stuff, but I was never in the Bible.
Interesting.
Like during all of this time, I had my Bible, and I could show people things in the Bible. Like, no, look, it says it right here.
Yeah.
But I never had been in the Bible, and so I led astray again. I very much gave in to the sins of the flesh, and things had happened to me again that the relationship with my mother and I broke down, and she was the parent that I was with, and so I left home. And
How old were you?
17.
Okay.
And back then it was legal for a 17-year-old to leave. So I quit school. I signed myself out of school. My junior year, I signed myself out of school, and I moved to Kansas City.
Wow.
I took myself completely out of the realm of small town.
Yeah.
And I am small town girl in big city.
Yeah.
And you can imagine the world that I walked right into. And I lived that life for 8 months. And one day I looked in the mirror and I was like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't you. Go home. So I came back, still was not with the Lord, wasn't even close to being with the Lord. And I started to get my life together because I had to get my life together before I could go back to God, because we can't go be walking back to God while I got all this sin still.
What would he do with it?
That valid. I mean, again, I had always been, my Bible had always been with me. I'm a Bible girl, and so I gave into the sins of the flesh, and I got lost. I got lost in drugs and alcohol and sex and things that were of the world. And it felt great, and it felt good, and it made me feel alive. And then one day, it didn't anymore.
Good.
And there was a church that had opened. Originally, my mother is Methodist.
Okay.
We had gone to a Baptist church growing up, but we went to a Methodist church when we were in Sumter, South Carolina, and then when we moved to Reed Spring, Missouri, there wasn't really a Methodist church that my mother was able to find. So we found a Baptist church. So we found a home there. And so that's where we went. Well, a Methodist church had opened. So I went. And this pastor saved my life. Like, I love this man. Sorry, I probably just hit that mic. But I love this man. Like, he literally stood up there and I felt the presence of God again. Wow. And I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All I had to do was turn around and say, hey, I messed up. And I got to the altar and I got on my knees and I cried and I prayed and I let it all go. And at this time, I had my daughter. I had been married and divorced. My daughter was had out of wedlock.
Been there.
There's it was a mess. And but then again, I was all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I can do this. This is amazing. Look at this. And so I was back. But I wasn't back in my Bible. I was back.
Makes a difference.
I was back.
But at least you're there. At least you're listening. You've got the influence of the word somehow getting into your head.
But then I wasn't, I realized later, looking back and reflecting, when you reflect, I've been lukewarm. As much as I was on fire, as much as I'm preaching to others, as much as I'm lukewarm. Because if you're not in it, if you're not reading it, you're not knowing it, then you're not doing it. And so so then I fast forward, my testimony continues, and sin is still in my life because I'm lukewarm. So I'm not rooted, as your last series you had was rooting. I wasn't rooted.
So many.
I wasn't rooted. I was there. I was this pretty little flower, but my roots were very shallow. And so when the winds of sin blew in, there I was.
Just easy.
And I was very easily fallen. And so I continued to make some bad choices, made choices that were not of what I should have been doing at all. And then I moved to Alaska.
Oh, wow.
I up and decided that I had met this guy. He was going to Alaska. I'm going to Alaska. So I took my daughter and I said, if I'm going to be a mom, then I need to be a mom. And so I took my daughter, went to Alaska. I was in Alaska for 6 to 8 months. And that was when I learned quiet. I learned sitting. And I was like, okay, this is what it's like. I don't like this.
I was going to ask you how you did with that.
I don't like this. I don't like not being around people. I don't like not being with people. So I found people in Alaska. They were not Christian people, but they were people. And so I was excited. They're good people, and I love them very, very, very much. And they're still part of my life now. But I wasn't growing. So I was a plant with shallow roots that's kind of gotten blown over, and I'm just hanging out. So then I come back, and the church that I was going to come back to is now falling apart. It's now, things aren't the same. Things aren't, and I was like, well, okay. So I went to the police academy. And yes, hi, everybody, I'm a cop. Welcome to it, I'm a cop.
That's just another layer of excitement for me. I think that's cool.
I decided that I was going to follow my dreams. That was it. This is it. This is the time I'm doing it. So I went to the police academy and I met my now husband. And my now husband is very much Christian. And my now husband will not ever be unevenly yoked. That was something that was instilled in him. And so he told me, if we are going to be dating, if we are going to be together, your butt's going to be in a pew. He goes, I don't care where that pew is, but your butt's going to be in a pew. Which at this time, we still had pews here. So my butt was in a pew and I was here. And that was in 2011. And so 15 years ago, I started sitting my butt in a pew. And again, I was listening, but I wasn't hearing. I wasn't getting into it. I was there for the wrong reasons originally. And well, because the boy I like wants me to be at church.
Yeah, and we'll do anything for the boy that we like.
Especially this boy. If you guys know my husband, you know why. Those of you listening who know who my husband is, you know why. That boy gets me to just, he gets his way. So I listened, but I still wasn't getting into it. And so I finally, there was a study that was going to be done that was offered. And I asked Joey, I said, do you think we could go to this? Because at this point, I'm pregnant with CJ. Again, pregnant outside of wedlock, even though we're in church, even though we know better. Pregnant outside of wedlock, still making choices because my little flower plant is still not completely rooted right. And so we went to go to this, and it was brought to our attention that being in this was not correct for us because we weren't married. It was a Song of Solomon.
Oh, okay. So,
we went to the first one, and it was really, really fun, and I really liked it. And then it was approached to us that it's not appropriate because we're not married to be in a Song of Solomon study. Yeah. Because there's glorification of what we're doing. Yeah. And what we're doing isn't. Yeah. And I didn't agree with it at the time. I was okay, but
I was going to ask you how you felt about that.
I didn't agree with it. If you want us to get married, then explain to us what a biblical marriage is.
Right.
But I can also understand that people who are married, being in that, seeing an unwed couple who are pregnant, I could see how they can make other people uncomfortable. And I'm not a person who wants to make somebody else uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I am a person who does strive to love those moments, but I that's not the time or place.
Right.
So we got the flowing hair moments where I told Joey he had to tell me that my hair always looks as beautiful as goats flowing down the mountainside. So that we got that much out of it. Yeah. But what it did to me was it made me want to start studying.
Oh, good. It's nice that didn't push you away. Like, I think it
pushed me away from the people.
Yeah.
Didn't push me away from God. It pushed me into, okay, well then what can I study?
Right.
Well, then I became, if you look at my house, and my husband will probably comment on this, I have an entire shelf of Bible studies. And I became, I love it. I wanted to learn. I was like, okay, here we go. This is what I've been missing.
Yeah.
So I started every Bible study you could think of. I started reading all of them. I would start one and I would get into it, but then I would get what I thought out of it, and then I'd move to the next one. And then because I also have ADD. So I don't have a hyperactivity part, even though you see me flailing. My brain does not have the hyperactive part where my brain does not fire that way. Yeah. But I got what I needed out of this study, I'd move to another one. I got what I needed out of that study, I'd move to the next one. Well, then the women's group here, they did a study on Esther. And that's where my roots just went so deep, I'm pretty sure we hit magma. Like,
why? What was it about Esther?
It took those little baby roots and it just drugged them and pulled them down. Well, we also did a study by Priscilla Shirer, Jonah.
Okay, I haven't done that one.
That one also. We had done, I don't know if we did Jonah first and then we did Esther, or vice versa. I can't remember now. I've done too many studies now.
I know, right?
Both of them just took those little baby roots, and not only did they pull them down, but they spread them out.
Nice.
And so I started, and I could then quote scripture, and I could tell you why. I could tell you the theology behind it. I could tell you, oh, this is why, this is this. And I started getting on fire for it, on learning. I very much see the similarity in my studying of college with my studying of the Bible.
I love to learn new things.
But the problem was, you can't study this like you study a textbook.
No, it works differently.
And that's what I was doing with the Bible studies. Like,
Just like knowledge.
So take the class, which is the Bible study. I take the class, I learn what I need to learn, move on to the next class, which is the next Bible study.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
Again, I thought I had all these roots, and I thought they're spreading and they're doing well. But now I have no sunshine, no rain, no fertilizer.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, I am still lacking. Like, and then like you've said in your stuff, I was like, well, I screwed up. Yeah. Like I failed.
Yeah.
So then I gave up.
Is that narrative with you a lot? I failed.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
good. I'm glad I'm not alone. It's not good. It's not good. We don't need to be there.
No, but that's why I went to college for psychology. Like, because I wanted to figure out, because I have all these diagnoses. I was diagnosed, which I'll share, I don't care. I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. I have complex PTSD. For those who don't know, complex PTSD is where you have post-traumatic stress disorder, but it's compounded. So I had a traumatic event happen, and then I had another one happen, and then I had another one happen. Kind of think about the mountain ranges out in Arizona, where you see all the layers. That is my PTSD. So it's just compounded. I also have OCD because of that disorder. And then I have ADD because of all of those disorders. My brain refuses to stay. If my brain stays on one thing too long, it will immediately kick into a trigger. So once my brain feels it's going to kick into a trigger, it'll switch.
Interesting.
So I went to college to start learning why.
Yeah.
I want to know the why of why my brain does that.
Yeah.
And like, how do I fix it? Yeah. Because therapy, luckily now I have a wonderful therapist and I love her.
Good.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you, boo.
Yeah.
If you see this, I love you, boo. But she's fighting an uphill battle because there is no cure for complex PTSD. Complex PTSD, you have to undo the layers.
Yeah.
And as you undo the layers, it brings up other things and it brings up issues. And so then it's a very long, very, very hard battle to fight. And
do you think it's necessary? And this is something that I've thought of for myself, because I have many things that have happened in my life. And I know that if I start thinking about them, like there was a time period in my life where I dealt with it. I mean, I suffered it. I dealt with it. I accepted it. I acknowledged it. And then I moved on. But it never goes away. It's always still there. So does it, I forgot what my original question was. Like, is there ever a point where that you can just be okay with it?
Yes. But the problem is that you have to so when trauma happens in the brain, it causes a blocker. So I don't have any way to example it, but okay, brain, you nurse, you love this.
I do.
Here we go.
I'm like, I'm seeing my brain.
I'm like, you ready? Okay, so see the brain.
I see the brain.
Picture the brain. Picture all of the millions of neural pathways that are shooting through our brains at one time, because they're all firing all the time. So as soon as trauma happens, it makes a block on that spot, and it blocks that part. That neural pathway is now dead. So whenever you have acknowledged it, you have done that, but you've only acknowledged it to that block. It's still behind it. That event is still behind it. Until you can get rid of that block and open that pathway back up to make it work completely, then you can move through it and on, and then it's no longer there really.
Yeah.
Because technically it's still there. It's just hidden. I call it my Pandora's box.
Yeah.
So like my brain has all of these trauma spots, and it's actually really cool. I did a study on it in college. You can actually map the brain, and you can see where trauma happened, because you can have somebody watch different things, and the brain will stop. The neural pathway will actually stop.
Interesting.
And it will it'll revert to a different spot.
Right. Where it's worked around it.
Which is why people have memory issues, or they have brain fog issues. Whenever people are going through like cognitive behavioral therapy, they talk about checking your symptoms and stuff like that. That's one of my notes in here. They talk about brain fog. When you have brain fog, you're having brain fog because that part of your brain has blocks in it. So like if you're thinking about something, especially super traumatic, the reason I can talk about my grandmother dying and talking about the house fire is because I did EMDR therapy, and I was able to open the pathways that lead to that. Now, have I been able to open all of the pathways? No, because EMDR is a very sensitive thing to do.
Yeah, it's not something I've done. I've thought about it though.
It is amazing. It is probably one of the coolest therapies that I've ever done.
A lot of people have a lot of success with it.
My problem is that my stuff is so heavy that touching it almost feels like I'm touching fire. So I have to do the light stuff. And I've gotten rid of a lot of the light stuff, which I say light stuff.
Yeah.
It's light.
Relative.
it's light compared to the other things. Right. Like I've dealt with my rape. I am no longer mad. I have forgiven my rapist. I honestly don't even think about him anymore. I don't think about the situation when I deal with people as an officer, when I deal with people who are rape victims. I don't get triggered by it. I don't get upset. I'm able to sit in court and listen to rape victims. It makes me sad.
Oh yeah.
It makes me feel very compassionate for it, but it's not, I am no longer having a panic attack for them.
Right.
Which is what used to happen. I used to have panic attacks over it because I felt like I was reliving mine.
Right.
But because I was able to do EMDR and I was able to move through some of that, it opened that pathway up, and I no longer have that hiding in my Pandora's box. So
interesting.
And really, I mean, you can do electroshock therapy to open up those pathways. It's not like the asylums. When I say electroshock therapy, I don't mean like everybody don't go back to the like
1960s where they tie you down.
Yes, no. That is not. It's actually a very, very. That is actually another therapy I've looked into doing because I think it's really cool because you do it under sedation.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have to actually be awake to acknowledge what's happening, but they could fix those pathways for me.
So how do they find the pathways? Do they talk you through it?
So what you do is you go do brain mapping.
Okay.
You lay there and you talk about it. So you talk about it.
So what kind of imaging do they use to map it? Is it MRI or is it?
It would be I don't know the fancy.
Yeah.
I don't know the fancy side of it. But it's literally like where they go and they map how they map the brain normally. So I guess it would be MRI because it would be the slices where they see all of that. But what they're looking for is how they're tracing the neural pathways. So it has to be some type of
electrical. It's got to be electrical too.
Yeah. So they
probably EEG, MRI.
That
might be a fancy word for that.
Well, that's your side of it. Yeah. I don't have the medical side of it.
Does anyone around here do that? Do they map your brain?
They actually do in Springfield. There's a clinic in Springfield that's actually doing this exact thing right now, and it is a 6-week course, and you literally go, or that's wrong. That's not right. It's 6 days straight. You do it 6 days straight, and you do go for, I don't know, however long, but what they do is they set up a plan for you and you go do it. And I've talked about doing it. I will not, cannot, won't do it right now while I have so much going on in my life. But at some point, once, if EMDR gets to the point where I cannot do anymore, that is definitely the step, because I feel like Satan wants us to just keep holding on to that.
Oh, absolutely.
I think one of the things that I appreciate most from Mary and her story is that she doesn't try to clean it up. And that's actually one of the things I really like about Mary. Mary is what you see. What you see is what you get. There were seasons in her life where she was close to God, seasons where she ran away from God, and seasons where she thought she was growing when she wasn't really rooted yet. And we're not done. The next part of our conversation, we're going to talk about trauma, healing, and some of the wounds that we carry longer than we realize.